Who picked that clip? I feel so sad right now.
I'm sorry.
Seriously, congratulations on everything, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The film needed over, what, 3,000 visual effects?
Yeah, 3,066 visual effects shots, which is, the movie is about 3,200 cuts, so it's a fair amount of the film. And actually, we were doing the Christmas special, if you've seen it, as well at the same time, so it was another 600 visual effects shots we had to deal with. We get busy.
What I loved about Volume 3 was we finally get to see Rocket's backstory, and we just saw a clip of that right there. I mean, talk about working with James Gunn and the conversations that you had about what you would...
Well, it's interesting because I worked on the first film 10 years ago, actually, and we were already talking about the story of Rocket, you know, because we had to show all these implants that he had in his body, and there was kind of that mysterious past that he had. And we talked a little bit about that with James at the time, and we even, in order to learn about raccoons, we had a real raccoon coming to our office, and for a day, I ended up with a lot of scratches on my face, actually. But we had that baby raccoon that was there at the same time, and I took a picture of James with the baby in his hands. And the first thing we did when we came back to do Volume 3 was just look at that picture, and I said, hey, is that what he's starting like? And he said, yeah, that's the little guy. So there was a lot of emotional beats in the film, and we were talking at length with all the different transformation or operation he was going to go through to finally become Rocket, and where he started. And the movie starts with that incredible shot of going into that cage with that little baby raccoon and his transformation into the Rocket that we know and love. And then the music, you know, the song from Creep from Radiohead. So there was a lot of things we could actually learn from that shot in terms of how does he grow into all these different stages. And you know, for James, Rocket is, there's a lot of James in Rocket in the way he's written that character, and it's a character that people love, and we really had to pay a lot of attention to this throughout the production, you know, like making sure that you guys would cry when we needed you to cry, and you guys would laugh when we needed you to laugh, and really connect to that character, which actually is just a bunch of pixels. But it puts a lot of pressure on us in terms of making this as real as possible, and we had a blast doing it. Like, there's a lot of love that went into making this character.
Yeah, I love that. Talk about how easy or difficult is it to animate fur?
It's gone better over the years. Like in the first film, it was really complicated. We actually had very few shots of interaction between the actors and the CG characters. I think we had just one shot at the end of the first film where Drax was petting Rocket when he was really sad. And now in this film, like, James, like, okay, we're gonna do group hugs and you know, they're gonna I don't know. We had so many things, and it was so complicated to manage this, but there's been a lot of progress that has been made. You know, it's 10 years between the two films, so computers are 100 times faster now. Artists are much, you know, they've done this quite a lot now. You know, 10 years ago it was kind of like the beginnings of this. Now they're more savvy about it, it's just a grueling process, but it's good. You know, it's much better than it's been.
We have to talk about the one long shot that features in the film, to No Sleep to Brooklyn by the Beastie Boys. What was your reaction when James said, we're going to do this?
I was worried a little. It's interesting, again, coming back to the first film, we actually talked about a shot like that in the first film, and at the time, we had so much to figure out on the first film, from, you know, ground zero to just finishing the thing. We kind of dropped this idea for the first film, and that came back on here. And it's such a great moment because it's the last time when you see all the Guardians kind of fighting together as a group, as a family. And the way the design of the shot is really giving everybody his kind of moment. And then Gamora being a little bit separated from them because she's not quite part of it. But on a technical level, you know, it's like we worked a lot with the stunts and James to kind of figure out how to do this. I mean, it's 2.5 minutes at the beat of the music. We shot this at, it's 18 shots that we had to kind of stitch together. And the last thing we wanted to do was to just do the usual, like when we're stitching a shot, we're just having someone go in front of the camera and then, oh, new shot. We didn't want to do that. So it was really, you know, we spent 3.5 days shooting this. All the actors were always there, all the stunts were always there, shooting things 2 times so that we could do maybe face replacement, shooting everything at 120 frames per second so we could retime and really be in sync with the music. So we had to kind of, whenever you know you have 2.5 minutes to do this, right? So whenever you change the timing on something at the beginning, it has a ripple effect on the entire thing. And it's 2.5 minutes of pure animation, very complicated camera stitching, using digital double, switching to, you know, in front of the camera and back again away from us, doing all these kind of CG monsters, fighting them, the effects. It's just mind-boggling. And it took us a year to do this shot. That's how long it takes, you know. We as soon as we filmed it, turned it over to editorial, Fred Raskin edited it, and then off we go, sent it to Weta in New Zealand, and every week we had 1 hour just dedicated to this one sequence with James and us and the people in New Zealand at Weta, just talking about every single beat in the shot.
And it is an amazing sequence. I don't know if everybody can see it, but he has a little tiny rocket pin.
I always have him with me. It's my baby.
We love Rocket. Steph, thank you so much for that. Stay put. Thank you, everybody, for that. And let's pull up our next clip from Barbie.